Rainbow Bridge. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. What's up, everybody? This is Aid, and welcome back to Album of the Week. As you read about the title, actually, before we get into that, I want to show you something that I refused to show in my 14 vlog because I was too lazy. But here's the vinyl for the Cara Cara Bonito record that I showed in that video. Here's the vinyl for it, so that's pretty cool. And it just, in the front, it says side 1 here, side 2 there, and the back, it says something in Japanese. I don't know what that means, but, that's cool, I guess. Anyways, let me just put that back into, let me put it back into the case. I'll just put it back there because it looks nice in the back, right? Anyways, as you read by the title, we're gonna be doing a review, or actually reviews, of the first 3 Sematary albums, kind of record mixtapes. They're technically mixtapes, but they're essentially albums. Rainbow Bridge 2, and Rainbow Bridge 3. Rainbow Bridge 3. It's kind of hard to say fast. And the reason I wanted to review these, because one, they're pretty obscure, like in the grand scheme of music. I haven't really heard people talk about Sematary that much, like anywhere besides like pretty fairly niche online internet communities. I feel like Anthony Fantano kind of helped bring like discussion to light a little bit more, to like slightly more mainstream, with his Rainbow Bridge 3 mixtape review about a year ago. And if you don't know what the Rainbow Bridge mixtapes are, essentially it's a series of 3 mixtapes released from 2019 to 2021 by Sematary, or Sematary Graveman, and they're very good. I highly recommend them. But in this review, all 3 of them, I'm just gonna be reviewing each album at a time. We'll start with the first one. But I'm not gonna talk about every single song on the records, because that would probably take like an hour, and plus I don't think I remember every single song even. But I will talk about a couple of notable songs from each album, because there are some, because even though they all have a similar vibe, and Cemetery is a very unique aesthetic that he plays in pretty much every single song. Uh, some are better than others. So Rainbow Bridge 1 is where it all started back in late 2019. Uh, and this is essentially, I feel like it's a very good start to the series when it comes to all 3 of them as a series, because it's not too harsh, it's not too hardcore. It's just very like simple and straight to the point. The first song, Slaughterhouse, which is the first song on the first album, sorry, I got a notification. I'm gonna keep getting notifications on my phone because I posted something on Reddit like an hour ago, and now it's getting a bunch of upvotes and comments, and that's cool, I guess. Anyways, this is a really good start to the series because, like I was saying, it's not too harsh like Rainbow Bridge 3, which I'll get to later, but it's not too simple, and it's pretty well mixed for the most part, and there's some very good features on this album, and there's some pretty good songs like Slaughterhouse, Bunny Suit, and Creatine, and Arson, and Toolbox. Like, they're all like pretty similar, but like I feel like every single song on Rainbow Bridge 1 is like the same song. That's the only issue I have with it, is that while the album is good, and I don't really have anything against it. There's no bad songs in there, definitely. Pretty much every single song is like the exact same, like pretty similar structure, pretty similar vocal delivery, pretty similar beats. Uh, while every single song does sample a different rock song, that's another thing I forgot to know, that every single song samples a rock song, or samples some sort of things. Sampling is a big part of the series. While they all might sample different things, they just have very similar qualities. That doesn't make any one song stick out insanely from the rest, except for the last song, which barely even counts because it's a bonus track. But yeah, Rainbow Bridge 1's not a bad start. Some pretty good songs in there, and yeah, I'd give it like 8 out of 10. I like it quite a bit. It's very good. I recommend it. Now, Rainbow Bridge 2 is where things get a little more interesting. Not really though. Rainbow Bridge 2 is probably the worst out of the series, because it's like a still probably like an 8 out of 10, but just like barely an 8 out of 10. It's not bad. But there's so many forgettable songs in here. Like Hogs is like a song that I never come back to, but I had to listen to it before I did this review. And it's just like there's so many songs on here that I just don't care about at all. Like there's so many like just like unmemorable tracks, because like I said, they're not even as well, they're not even as well mixed as they were on the first mixtape. So I might give it a 7 out of 10, but there are some like for how forgettable and not that amazingly produced. A lot of the songs on here are. There's some bangers on here like Funeral, Skellingtons, and Tooth Taker. Some absolute bangers that I come back to pretty often. But it's just not that good. But the album cover is pretty nice, and this is the album cover for the first Rainbow Bridge. Here's the one for the second one, and the third one.
DJ Sorrow, turn the fuck up. This is a certified home classic.
Now here's the album cover for Rainbow Bridge 3. It's much more demonic seeming as he's literally holding an upside down cross, and in the other hand he's holding some bat with nails coming out of it. I don't even know what that's called. I've seen it before and it looks pretty cool, and I really want one honestly because it looks really badass, but I don't know what they're called. Anyways, Rainbow Bridge 3 is 100% the best out of all these, okay? It's insanely well mixed, it's insanely catchy. Like there's no bad songs in here. Literally every single song in here is at least an 8 out of 10. Most are 9 out of 10s, and a couple songs are also 10 out of 10. It's a very, very good mixtape. And just to highlight a couple of songs that I like, the first song in this thing, God's Light Burns Upon My Flesh, is already insanely catchy, insanely well made, is a great showcase of Sematary's artistic talent, and a great opener. And it's probably one of the more distorted songs in the album, which I think is good because if you're going into the album and the first song you hear is one of the most inaccessible tracks, then that kind of weeds you out if you don't really want to listen to the whole thing. And I feel like that's kind of a smart move on his part, on Sematary's part, to make one of the more distorted songs the first song, because God's Light Burns Upon My Flesh is a fucking distorted mess, but I love it. And honestly, as distorted and as discombobulated a lot of the songs on Rainbow Bridge 3 may seem, they have, a, for the most part, a chorus, verse, chorus, maybe another verse, maybe another chorus structure. Like, they're like well produced and like well entangled, but just they're hard to fully, that quality of them is hard to fully appreciate with all the distortion and uh, Sematary's vocal style, which is that's my best impression of it. The second song, Murder Ride, is probably better by a little bit, or maybe a little bit worse. I'm not really sure. Either way, Murder Ride, the second track, is still extremely crashy. Murder Ride. It's just, I don't know, the vocal delivery on that one is actually like a god tier, and it's really catchy, and very good second track. Third song, which is, in my opinion, the best track on the entire album, uh, Chainsaw Party, which is insanely catchy and has amazing intro, amazing verse, amazing chorus, and some very good lyrics, and a great ending as well. It's the best song because it's so damn catchy. It's so damn amazing. Chainsaw Party. I don't get. Wait. Come with me to hell. We can have a nice party. It's so catchy. Sorry if that singing was bad. I'm sure it was bad. But Chainsaw Party is the best song in here by far. It's probably one of my favorite songs ever, if not my favorite song ever. It's just such a good amalgamation of all every of just, and it's not even that like musically complex. It's just a simple catchy song, but it works so well, and with all the distortion, it just, I don't know exactly how to put it into words, but it's just such organized chaos, and I love chaos. So fourth song, I'm a Sinner, is probably the weakest one that I've talked about out of these four tracks so far, but it has a pretty good instrumental, and the lyrics are a little bit more subpar, but the instrumental is very good, and the little steel drums in the background going, and it just repeats that little melody over and over again. I love it. Skipping ahead a little bit to Tooth Taker, which was also featured on the second record, just here again. But this time, Tooth Taker got a little bit more updated because it's better, like in every single way. It's more distorted, and I feel like I don't know, it's more distorted. It's better. Another song, Come With Me to Hell, is just literally just probably the most screamiest song on here, with the chorus literally being "Come with me to hell, come with me to hell." Well, that's like part of the chorus. Another song, Meet Me by the River, is just another example of how distorted and how insane Cemetery can get. Another song I forgot to mention is Skin Mask 2. I don't know where Skin Mask 1 went, but Skin Mask 2 is just it's pretty chill and has a really good build up for the first about 40 seconds. But then when the chorus comes in, it's just probably the most distorted Sematary gets on this entire record, and I love it so much. La 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 skin mask, and it's really catchy, but it's really distorted, but yet somehow manages to be catchy. I feel like probably the most breathtaking aspect of the all of this project is how distorted and how amalgamated it can be, but still manage to be extremely catchy. And I don't know, it's just incredible. Shui Jeans has a pretty good chorus, very catchy chorus, but it's a little bit overrated. But the outro is very nice with this guy in a southern accent talking about life and stuff. I'm not really sure, but I like that one a lot. And this final song on this record, which concludes the entire series pretty much. The first song of this entire series, Slaughterhouse, was a very nice introduction. The final song of this entire series, Crucifixion, is a very nice ending. I'll tell you why. Okay, so the vocal delivery is not the best that Cemetery I feel like has given, but it's not bad. I like the way that the entire song has a huge shift halfway through into a nice piano solo, which is beautiful, which is also sampled. Unfortunately, at first I was like, "Oh my God, Cemetery can play the piano? That's absolutely insane." But then I realized it's actually a sample, so it's not as impressive, but it's still very lovely sounding. And then it has a very nice ending and outro that is actually honestly pretty beautiful. And it's probably the only Cemetery song that's made me a little bit emotional. I would definitely rate the final Rainbow Bridge 3. I'd definitely rate the final installment in this project, which is easily the most assorted one, a 10 out of 10. There's no bad songs in here. Every single song in here is amazing. Some other great songs on the third one that I just didn't mention are a Necromancer, and Witching Hour with its pretty interesting sampling. Uh, just I love it too much. I can't recommend it enough, especially the third one. But I'd recommend starting with the first one, maybe skipping the second one except for Funeral and Skeletons, and then moving on to the third one. I listened to all three projects in a row before I made this video, so that was pretty fun, which took about like 2.5 hours, but it actually took like 3.5 because I got food halfway through and I ate that instead of listening to music. So, yeah. That's my review of Rainbow Bridge 3. How do you feel about Rainbow Bridge 3, Sarah Benito?
Trap metal. More like trash metal.
That was not a good joke. That was not funny at all, actually. Anyways, with that, I'm gonna end the review. Um, I recommend you check these out, and they're very good. And this is probably the last album of the week I'm gonna do for a while because apparently I can't do them weekly. But maybe it will. Maybe I will. Okay, maybe I will do them weekly. Actually, at some point in this channel's history, maybe. Anyways, with that, I'll end the video. See you in the next one. Goodbye. Rainbow Bridge, Cemetery, la di da di da.